Yay, we are live. And I'm excited about this. This will be like super close to the. Let me see. It's better? Okay, let me pin this very quickly. Wow, you are the first person on my live, and I'm so excited. Welcome, Secretplacewife. Excited to have you here. Hey, Mayo, welcome. I'm just trying to pin the topic. Good afternoon or good evening here from over here in Nigeria, Lagos. Welcome. Hi, I am Total. Welcome. Hey, Morenike, so good to have you here. Welcome, our early birds. I'm trying to pin the topic. Just want to be sure that my English is correct. Awesome. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Whoosh. I am excited to be here. Hi, chat with Dr. T. Great to have you here. Good evening. Happy Sunday. How was church today? Hope you had a great time in service. Hope you had a great day. How's your week been? How's everything going? Hey, Jide. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I'm sure somebody's wondering that why is she sweating? I don't want to explain what happened like to get here just now. But I'm sure that it's because the topic is very hot. So I gotta, Hi, Chummy, Jonathan. Great to have you here. Hi, Chidima. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another very amazing and lovely episode of Ife Talks. And I am so excited that we're here again today. Thank God for how far He has helped us and how He has consistently helped us. And then today is such a very special one. Like, this topic is very, very important. I didn't even know it was that deep till people said, "Bosmo, if I add this question, if I put this question," so I said, wow, you are really ready for Secretplacewife and Morenike. Okay. Like, I always say people should drop questions with me, but not a lot of people always do. This time around, like, I'll just wake up, or if I ask them this, especially anytime I put it on my status or my story, I'll just say, oh, please add this to the questions. I'm like, okay, y'all taking friendship very seriously. That's okay. I will do what you said. So, like, I have a lot of questions. Like, I don't even know how we're going to, do all this in the time that we have, but I'm sure that, the message of friendship will be passed one way or the other, right? So, welcome everyone. Welcome, Israel Daniel. I'm just going to take the opening prayer. We're just going to jump right in because my guests are here and I am elated. So, Father, Lord Jesus, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for another episode of Ife Talks. Thank you for how far you have helped us. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for strength. Thank you for your mercy, your love. Thank you for all that you do here. Thank you for the lives that have been transformed. Thank you for every episode. It's been you all the way and we're so grateful. Be exalted in the name of Jesus. Thank you for today. Thank you for the beautiful topic we've been having. Thank you for our amazing guests. Thank you for Morenike and BC. Thank you for how far you have helped them in this friendship journey. Thank you for everyone who will be watching this now and who will watch it later. We pray that, Lord, you will heal hearts today. You will give hope. You will renew minds. There will be transformation in the name of Jesus. We cover today's meeting with the blood of Jesus, so we decree that everything will go well in the name of Jesus. Thank you because you are here and your name alone will be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Amen and amen. All right, so I believe everybody can hear me. So hi Mole, great to have you here. So like I was saying earlier, today we're talking about building healthy friendship relationships. I know that some people have not had it really great with friendships. Hey, Miss Demi, welcome. Some people have really good friendship stories, and they are having a great time with their friends, with their cliques and all that stuff. So, it really varies. Some people don't even believe in friendship, maybe as a result of past hurt or betrayal, or maybe something that they've seen and they're like, no, I'm not all about that. Let's just be cordial and everybody's good. some people don't even believe in best friends. I mean, some people say, oh, I have friends, but there's nothing like best friend in my own dictionary, right? We don't get to that space. Let's just... So a lot of things, right? But I'm excited about what we're doing today because, I mean, this has been in my mind for a while, but I was like, okay. And, you know, when... I mean, for those who follow Morenike and Secretplacewife, you see after that thing that happened just very recently, I won't say it, they will say themselves if we get to that, right? I was like, I think it's time for us to talk about friendships. It's a good thing. It's good to have good friends, right? As we pray for money, we pray for jobs, we pray for promotion. Praying for friends too is very, very important, right? So I'm excited that we're going to be doing this here tonight. And so Morenike and Secretplacewife, please send me your request and then we can just jump right at it. If you've been following both of them, you see how very vocal they are about what they share and all that stuff. And I mean, I also have questions, right? Because there's we need to know a lot of these things and how possible it is for, you know, for us to, you know, build this sort of relationships. And I really want to know. I mean, I really want to learn more. Should I put it that way? Yes, I really want to learn more. Me, I'm an advocate of friendship. If you know me, you know that I enjoy having friends. I enjoy maintaining beautiful relationships. I enjoy the beauty of friendship. I love it. I love it. I love people and all that. So yes, I mean, I'm genuinely excited about that. So hi, Opitiva, welcome to the live so that we can just jump right at it. Right. Let me see.
Good evening.
Hi. It's such an exciting thing to have you here again. This is like your third time.
At this
I need to
point now, I'm a co-host.
award, like, right? Yes, co-host. So you know, my friend, I think that's all I said. When here again, I said, well, you should know, she talk about different things. That's if we come back.
Next time, I'm coming to talk
about marriage.
next time.
So don't worry. I'll still look for that topic again. I know you still feel it. We'll still bring you back again. But yeah, so Morenike is around. We're just waiting for Secretplacewife to send us her request and join in. Yes. Yes, I saw her already. I saw on live. For those who are just joining, welcome. I'll still do this in the middle because I know that people will just keep coming in. Welcome to Effect Talks. Welcome to another episode. I'm excited. I'm elated because Rennie is here. And I know that everybody knows Rennie. If you don't know Rennie, please go and Google it. Go to Google. You have to know her, right? She's here. We're going to be talking about something very, very interesting today, and that is building healthy friendship relationships, right? And I am excited because of all the very many things that we're going to be talking about today. So ready? It's like you're frozen, right? So I can't yeah, you have, but I'm sure that this network and we'll sort this out in a second. So yeah, Rennie is here, but Rennie is not here again. So maybe she's going to join back in or trying to sort out internet. But let me know if you can hear me. Before I'm thinking that I'm not the problem, whereas I'm the issue. Please just let me know that you can hear me. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of Effect Talks. I'm excited that you all are here. What I do here, you have, okay, let me check. Okay, great. What we do here is to talk about life issues, life topics. You know, we invite people from different walks, having different strengths to come and talk to us about different things that would help us to make better informed decisions as individuals, that would help us to, you know, do life better. Okay, so I'm trying to be accepted. Please, guys, just let me know that you can hear me. I just want to be sure. I just want to be sure. So people are still joining in. Okay, great. So I just invite people. We talk about everything. We talk about life. We talk about marriage, finance, career, business, entrepreneurship. There's nothing we don't do. Okay, welcome back, Wendy. So that we talk about everything that has to do with life. We talk about raising children, parenting, business, money, making good financial decisions. Like we talk about I mean, what is this just passion for me? We've been doing this for 3 years consistently, right? And I'm just excited that we're able to, you know, God has helped us to come this far. And today I'm going to be having Morenike and our best friend, BC. They're going to be here today to talk to us about friendship. I'm trying to, okay, yay! Welcome. Ah, God, when?
Hey.
I love
Hi, Rennie.
Oh, thank
How
you
are
Hi,
you?
so much.
Boo.
Thank you.
Let me just collect your glasses
Let me
and
allow the friends. Let me allow the
No,
match
friends
it's
it
to
with
have a
my
moment.
top.
game.
I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring this invitation. All of us, we're excited that you are here. So one more time, let me just do a quick introduction, right? Welcome everyone. I'll do this in the middle again because I know that people will still join. But one last one for now. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another very beautiful episode of Effect Talks, right? Secretplacewife has been here too before with her husband, and they talked to us about marriage, and it was such an amazing time. So what we do here is every month we bring in people that we believe have a strength in a certain field. So what we talk about everything and anything, as long as it impact lives, as long as it bless you, as long as it help you to make better informed decisions. We just invite people and then we have beautiful conversations. There's nothing we've not talked about, but we have still not exhausted. We've talked about infertility, we've talked about raising children, we've talked about money, we've talked about marriage, talked about but this is the first time we're going to talk about friendship, right? Talk about purpose, talk about career, talk about failure, abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff, right? And if you ever want to, you can just relieve yourself, go to the page, check it, follow, and then just be blessed by what we do. So today, we're going to be talking about friendship, and I'm excited about this topic because this is a very, very important aspect of life. And like I was saying earlier when I was doing the introduction, that a lot of people don't believe in friendship. Some people believe, and understandably so. Some people feel like maybe they've been hurt, they've been betrayed, they don't understand why you are carrying friendship on your head. Like, government work, focus on your work, focus on other things, right? There are a lot of things to focus on in life, but me personally, I know that friendship is important, but this is not a way to undermine people's thoughts and beliefs, right? But I mean, we're just going to try our possible. I have your questions here, and if you have more questions, you can still drop. I will try as much as possible in time that we have to take as much as we are. When I talk about the questions, it's when I say, what's this? Like, usually I always have like maybe 10 questions that I'll prepare and plan for, but at least I have 2.5 duplicated questions. I say, this list, are we going to finish this today? But I mean, I'm excited, and I'm sure you guys are excited too. So welcome again to Effect Talks. And if you're not following Effect Talks, just follow Effect Talks now, because you need what we're going to be discussing. So my first question, let me just allow Rennie to say hi, allow Secretplacewife to say hi, and then we jump right at it. So, Rennie,
Hi.
your voice. What's on you like this? Okay, so let's just jump right at it, right? Secretplacewife, if you don't know her, now you know her. Everything that has to do with relationship, marriage, I learned a lot from her page in terms of marriage. In fact, the last time they came, I learned something that I had to go back and run with, right? I had to ask for forgiveness that night, and then we tried to start afresh, even though we're still sinning in terms of what I've learned, but it's a work in progress. I'm not a perfect person. We fall down, we rise again. We fall down, we rise again. But we keep moving, right? Because I mean, marriage is very important. And of course, if you're not following Rennie, just celebrated her birthday. I was there. That program was amazing. She did something for people be under 20.
So in their 20s.
And even though those of us above 20, some of them, yeah, 20s. Oh, I beg your pardon. Under 30, in your 20s, right? And it was just amazing. I learned a lot. I ran away from work, and then I was just like, God, please, I beg. Let my team lead not call me now. But I mean, for the time that I was there, it was great, and I continued live. It was such a very intentional act to just, show that, I mean, I love people and I want people to do better in life. So I have two very amazing people, powerhouses here. But don't worry, I'm not talking to them about work and purpose and marriage and relationship today. We're going to talk about something very interesting. So my first question is, and that will go to Secretplacewife, right? So what is friendship? What is your definition of friendship? And how important do you think this friendship thing is?
Rennie, help me.
In fact, you better start, because even you tell you will see help me. You will see help me. You are the public speaker.
No, Well, what is friendship? I mean, friendship is friendship, right? Friendship is another relationship, like
Yeah.
a non-romantic relationship that you share with someone, for the purpose of, or for the purposes of doing life together, um, you know, supporting each other, loving on each other, and really just, being there for each other. So I would say that it's a non-romantic relationship that you have with someone for the purpose of basically doing life together.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Rennie, how important do you think
That
friendship
said
is
it
in our
all.
journey in life?
I beg.
Okay. Let me be serious. Let me be serious for one. Meanwhile, if I not even tell people about how me and you we have been friends for more than 20 years, you can't even, let me just cast you now.
Ah,
You
hey,
don't,
God.
people don't know.
Anyway, wow,
Yes,
Rennie,
yes,
wow,
yes. That
wow.
even I've known you before I even knew BC safe.
Ah, eh.
So let me just give you your
I mean,
flower. So me and if I be friends since secondary school, oh, things, but we thank God. So I'm so grateful for you, Ife. Thank you, and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing. God bless you. So how
thank
important is
you.
it? I
Thank
mean,
you
like,
so much.
we're all social creatures, right? And man wasn't created to do life alone. Even though, most times when when we
Right.
read the Bible, when we read of the creation story, when God said, it's not good for man to be
Mm,
alone, when he created Adam and then he created Eve, right? Yes, I know
mm,
that most times we're always talking about
mm,
it from the marriage aspect, but then I'm sure at the same time God looked at it, this guy is lonely, this guy is just talking to animals, this is going to be extremely boring, right? And he then decided to create a companion. So I know that for friendship, it's very
mm,
important that you have people that are in your corner, people that would be there for you, like BC had said, people that will inspire you, people that will motivate you. You want to do something, and then you know that you have people that
mm,
you can run it by to say, okay, do you think this is a good decision? I've looked at it from this angle, from this lens. I think it's okay. But then having another eye look at it and say, I don't think so. And then they're like, okay, this is the reason why I feel like this might not work. And then not like they're trying to bring you down. They have your best interest at heart, and then you then look at it from where they're looking at it, and you're like, oh, okay, it's true, I can understand, because I am just blinded because I'm extremely passionate about this thing. Do you get? So that's one angle. There's also the angle of just there's some days where I'm upset. I just need to rant. I need to vent, and I know that my husband will not understand it. My husband is the kind of person that he will just okay, please, don't worry, everything will be all right. But I just want a woman that will say, hey, yes, they are not all right. Why would they do that? But my husband, my mama said, no, you have to be a good person. All those, and like, today I want to be bad. So we have people like BC that would,
That's
allow my
that.
excesses. Do you understand? That will allow me to be bad in peace. Then when I will say, okay, now you need to ask God for forgiveness. So it's okay. Yeah, let's now ask God for forgiveness. Do you understand? So it's just so beautiful and so interesting. And I can't even imagine my life, not doing life with BC, with Bumi and my friends, people that are around me. I just can't. I'm just looking when I read stories like, oh, I don't want to have any friend, I just want to be myself. I know that's coming from a place of hurt. And I just always feel a sense of pity. Like,
yeah.
I know that there's some deep things happening, and I just wish that you can see the light and understand how beautiful and important friendship is.
Wow, wow, amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, I was going to ask that. I mean, is it compulsory to have friends? Because, I've seen that a lot of times. Is it compulsory? Why must I have friends and all that? Do you think that, back to Secret Place right now, do you think that it is compulsory to have friends from the definitions and the
I don't
importance that I've just
Important.
spoken about?
compulsory is the word, but I
Yeah.
think that it is something
Right.
that is necessary.
Yeah.
And not only necessary, it's something that should be. It's something that, when I even talk about necessities from a place of or almost from a place of need, not just from a place of what you need also. But friendship is also from a place of what you give, right? So even if you don't need it, clearly someone else needs your friendship. Do you see? So friendship is, I mean, it's not compulsory, necessary. It's important. It's one of God's creation, and so it should be established. Friendship should be established. So it's important to create a network of friends, right? Friendly with other people. So I don't know if it is compulsory. It's not compulsory by force, but if you sort of rewire why don't I want to have friends? Why should I have friends? The question would then not be should you have friends? The question would be why don't you have friends? Why are there not people that you're doing life with? What exactly is on there? And whatever it is that we find going on there cannot be the norm, cannot be what God expects or what God wants. So therefore, that is an anomaly which needs to be fixed so that the right thing can then be placed. So yeah, friendship is very key. Something that that is important in our lives.
Amazing. Thank you. So I guess this is where we'll ask the part
Right.
that all of us want to hear. So first, let me ask. So how did you both meet? And obviously, I know that's not the first time you saw that person is your best friend. So let's start from the foundation first. Then we now advance. So just first off, how did both
It's
of
raining
you
that we
meet
met, and
yourself?
whatever she says is correct. That's how we.
Correct.
The
But she
That's
has
how
the
we met.
details.
pressure
Okay,
has
Rani, talk to
the
us.
pressure has gotten worse.
What?
Not
Whatever she said.
not me now
Whatever.
trying to
If we met
go
on the land, anyway, she said we met is where we met.
anywhere, anything. Let me
Oh, yeah,
formulate
Rani, talk
the
to us.
story. Okay. And so one day, imagination. Okay, so okay, so we actually met if you followed us for a while, right? There's this group of ladies fellowship that Bumi George created. How many years now, BC? I think 7 years now. Have you? 7 or 8?
Mm.
8. 8 years ago, right? And I was one of the founding members. BC had not joined us that time. But I remember, I think that was when I went to give birth to Dabra that you joined. So I didn't even meet her, but she joined the fellowship. And then subsequently, after a while, when I came back, maybe one of these meetings we saw. But at the time, we were just like 6. I remember that time, 12, 16, I think, yeah. But you know how it is in a group of women where we are doing life together. We talk every day, we pray, we study the word. We're just literally there for one another, and we're still there up till today. Right, but then you would agree with me that in the midst of, even with Jesus Christ and the disciples, there was the 12, right? And there was also the 3, the core, right? So that's how we then exactly. I think the core started like how many years ago? Maybe
I can't
5.
remember. Maybe
I
5.
don't remember. Maybe 5 years. But I remember that it was around maybe like around February, March of this year. And you're very you used to remember
Eh?
things, so I don't know, be dropping
Remember?
the date. And I
Forget.
think it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago that I now asked BC's hand in best friendship. That BC, please, I'm on bended knees. Please, I'm begging you with my life, with my kidney. Please, can you accept my hand in best friendship? But I didn't give her any choice. So I was like, yes or yes. And she said yes. And so that's how we have been.
Wow, wow, I would have never thought that. I mean, sorry to call
You know,
that.
I
I
did
mean,
before.
I've never heard. I know that
I
people
need
just,
to package this more and
people
do
just,
it in
people just
an
talk
Instagram
friends,
reel,
friends, friends.
Instagram
Wow,
post.
Yeah, so my hand.
So I said it with my full
okay,
chest that I'm the one that went seeking and
amazing.
looking. And at the time, I didn't even care whether she would tell me no. If she tell me no, I'll come back another day and beg again. I'll kneel down and beg that please, I
Wow,
can do PowerPoint presentation to tell you why I should be your best friend, please.
wow.
But thankfully, she did not allow me to go through
So
such.
much.
She accepted on the first as a
But
nice person
because
that she is. Eh?
we were already pretty close at the
Yes,
time,
yes, yes, yes.
But
So
because
just like let's just make this official.
Those are yeah.
Wow, this is deep. So I want to ask. So I mean, what did you see? Because still, Morenike, since you want to know the story, because I mean, you can't just say since both of you are already close. What did you see in her that made you feel that she can be your best friend, or you want her to become your best? Because I mean, there were obviously a lot of other people. It's just like marriage, plenty men
You
for one person,
yourself,
right?
you
So
yourself,
a lot of
can't
you
you
all.
see the BC we are talking about? Are there not many things
Hey,
in her?
No,
oh,
as
go,
Are there
go.
not many things? Are there not many things in her
every
I
that will make
now
you say that
go.
I want to
now.
be this person's bestie? Eyo,
No, I
Eyo BC,
that's
BC wisdom,
what was
BC
what
that is
was the thing that
wise,
intrigued
BC
you?
that is caring, motherly.
Oh,
Do you understand? Like BC who is always there for
Wow.
your heart is open. And I just thought, oh my God, like this person, what will I do? What will I do without your
let me tell you,
love?
think that this girl, she's a nonsense girl, and
You see, it's only your best friend that can call you nonsense on
the
Instagram
truth of the
live.
matter is that the only place that a nonsense is allowed, is here. Yes. So, like, right, and it's mutual. So it's like when you get to a place where you're like really yourself, no pretense, no trying to be nice, trying to be good, trying to be proper, right? And no expectations of you to be anything or any type of way, right? So, and Rennie is such a good girl, right? Sweet, loving, just the best. You know how Rennie, everybody knows Rennie, the sweet Rennie, right? If I tell you a type of Rennie now, you will not even believe me. That's the funny thing. All this thing I'm saying, I know it's in my own pockets that there's a proper Rennie that you people will never see. But the truth of not being able to express yourself, which is what it was for me as well. Like being able to just connect in a way that is not, it's not about, I don't know, it's not about anything. It's not about quotes, it's not about wisdom, to be honest. It's not about sharing depth, right? Or connecting on deep levels on, this person gives me life. It's not nothing. It's just on a level of human being, people being just two young girls, I think, right? You know how you can be children, just being two young girls who are like, you know what, we're just flesh together, that sort of thing.
I love it. No, I mean honestly, I'm even happy that I'm here for the first time here because I have never thought that you can. Permit, I don't know if propose is the right word, but since Rennie said propose, then
I
just
proposed
use the word,
I proposed to
right?
her.
So
I
I've
proposed
never,
to her. Please be my
but that's
best
so
friend. The only thing
good
that was remaining
because
was
that
ring.
is a
Um,
lot
I
of.
shall not give you ring.
but yeah, we should buy a ring.
That I didn't even think that it is possible because me, I just
PK, you
assumed
have
that's
come.
like an
Please don't make
assumption that
noise here, oh,
you just
90
please. Oh,
million.
what?
just become friends, and then after a while I like maybe they're just unspoken words, but this is good because it was like defining what you share, right? So let me ask again. So now how did you even, because like you said, it's a group of a lot of people, right? And yes, I think you said that like Jesus, three people, the call and all that. How did that even, because it's a group thing, they're locked in a group, how did you begin to draw closer from the multitude of individuals? Something must have happened. I think my friend to propose, right? So how did that even happen? First, the first attraction, the first, because I'm asking these questions because a lot of people struggle with these things. Even if I know people that struggle, you want to have friends, but you don't even know how to go about it. Someone in their head is thinking, I can never go and propose to my friend. I should collect a la. So obviously, you would have done that because both of you had,
Yeah.
kind of draw. I mean, there must have been some sort
Hey,
of koinonia.
Hey,
Let's put it
wait.
that
me,
way,
you don't
right? So
know.
how? Let me just get so right, but from the beginning, how did you even
I
start to
think
draw
that,
close to
I don't know, I
yourselves?
I think that
that was
it
there.
just sometimes it happens naturally. If we're being honest,
Mm.
right? You'll notice that you're talking more
Right.
with somebody, right? Or you're asking questions more
Mm-hmm.
in somebody's personal space, right? Or something is up, you need clarity, or you're confused, or you're hurt, you go to somebody first. So I think that that's what happened. So
Okay.
typically gravitate towards each other
Okay.
like separately. You just find that, oh, when I'm maybe when I want to put something out, I want to run it by this person first. When I want to when I'm upset about something in the group, I'm able to go to this person first to sort of just clarify it and help me keep my head straight. So there'll be that one person that you're gravitating towards. And I think that's what happened for us. So we had like so the core thing actually was not even our creation, right? But there was already that gravitation where, oh, we would just chat, we'll talk, we'll call and all that. Then the core, which was the group of four of us, started randomly. One of us needed, well, four of us that were easily close, that we reached out to each other individually.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, with
Right.
Rennie, I reach out to Rennie, I say, hey, see this. Rennie will reach out to me, Bumi will reach out to me, I'll reach out to Bumi, and all that. So one of us then decided she wanted to do something and thought that she needed us to help her do it. So she created a group for easy
Okay.
communication and said, oh, call, or maybe she didn't name it call. Then she just created this group and said she wanted us to, I think it was to pray for someone, right? So that people don't think it's just foolish things we do. It was actually pray. She wanted us to pray for somebody and hold somebody up, in prayer and all that. So she created that group where we just communicated about it, met with the person and all that and all that. And so after all that, we then did not disband the group. So that's how that call thing where, the call
Your
now even became close.
origination.
So what happens is that when there's now a
Oh,
group separate from the group, you now have like gist divided. So you can take one gist and put in the call. You people will talk, 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 talk. Something that may have easily gone to the main group, before, that kind of thing. So that just also made us like close down the group. But what happens is that if we're being honest and you pay attention, no matter what, if you're in a group of 5, 20, 300, there will be at least one person that you can easily gravitate towards. And always you gravitating towards them. Maybe they gravitate towards you. Like one person who is always coming to you, then you will start going to them. So that's how this closeness develops.
I love this story. You people go and put the story out. So go and, I
I
can say, I'll make
think
it real. Let it go to the world. And y'all can know that it is possible. Awesome. So I think my next question will now be, so since you've been friends or best friends now, what are some of the, because this is also very important, because people just believe that if you're my friend, we should just have only great days, just like marriage. I always say marriage because me, I feel like friendship is like marriage. You need the friends that were not having sex. I feel like, I mean, or maybe we don't have children together, but it's just like marriage because there's a lot of, normal emotional intimacy and stuff like that. So, what are some of the challenges that you have had in this journey? And if you want to share one of your maybe major fights or arguments, I don't want to use fights because it's not fight, but, have you ever had an argument that, and you still bounced back? And, I mean, how did you handle that? Because if some people, when it's small fight, they're
that
done. I'm done. I'm done. And that's friendship. So what are some of? I remember one or two, and how you went through it and still maintained
Missy,
your
do you remember anyone?
relationship.
the
So,
honest truth is that I don't know. There's nothing defined as such, but
okay.
I think that there was one when a few years back, um, I thought that was there was a conversation with Rennie and I, that we were going to do. And again, this is like, deep level. We were going to do something together. And just in our fashion, yeah, let's do it, like no big deal. Yeah. Then when she told her husband about it, he was like, I think put the reins on it, just like slow down, that sort of thing. So now Rennie did not know how to tell me, right? So she was like, yeah, me, I was too excited. but she was no longer as excited. So I was like, what's going on? I started seeing the change in vibe. On the day we had this conversation, we were both crying, like, like, because I was like, you could have just told me. Like, why didn't you tell me? You guys, my hook has removed, though. Anyway, so you should have just told me. I just noticed the vibe. The day we were going to have a conversation, we went out and decided to just talk about it. So she told me, like, oh, this was going on. I'm like, yeah, you could have just easily told me. But what then happened was that, natural fashion, after like you've had a conversation and you're like, oh, you should have just told me, it's no big deal. Then you now sit down and start thinking about it, right? And you start stewing, like all these other ideas start jumping into your head. Now the challenge was that, to be honest, we were pretty early. You know how it's like when you fall in love with somebody, that love is shacking you. You are not thinking about anything, and all of a sudden somebody just hit the brakes, right? And says maybe you're not so in love, right? And all of a sudden your love, you begin to actually think that, oh, I thought we were in love. It's like first your love for each other, then you now say you go to the end of the world. Then when it's time to go to the end of the world, the other person
You can't go to Terminal Bridge.
and now I'm saying, oh, I thought we were in love. So obviously by the time I thought about it, right, I thought, oh my goodness, that was so unnecessary and shouldn't have happened at all. And I particularly felt that he put like a strain on me personally, because now it was now no longer just this organic thing. So it's like coming from a friendship that's organic to a friendship that now needs to grow, if you know what I mean. And that's just two different kind of things, right? Obviously friendship needs to grow, but you all want, like a post I saw today, did you marry me? My message to my husband 3 a.m., did you marry me to be your wife, or did you marry me as a friend, something. So I thought about it, and obviously I was really like, I did not want that. I didn't want anything between us, right? I did not want anything, because this was not for the first time for the two of us, our friendship is like a breath of fresh air. We've both had major friends. Rennie has a lot of friends, as you know. I've always have like a lot of friends, So this was something that not only happened, we also chose it. Now, how do I handle this thing that is disturbing my mind, right? That gets in the way all the time. I thought and thought. I'll tell my husband will be like, you know what, just have a conversation with her, just tell her. I'll be like, no, I don't want to tell her, because nothing was done wrong. It's one of those things that there's no wrong was done. It was just a vibe. Do you see? So I thought and thought, and one day I just decided to bite the bullet, and I invited her and her husband. So I didn't just have a conversation with her, right? I invited the husband too. That wanted to
No.
come.
What happened was that what happened was both of us had the conversation. He was on his way home. He now called me that, where are you? I said, you better just be coming, because
exactly.
this
Okay.
matter.
So we sat down to have the conversation. Then we now say, okay, it's you that caused this thing. Just arrange yourself and be coming. So he came. Obviously, no idea. He had no idea. He's like, hey, God, I beg you. Hey, please. So we all then had a conversation, and it wasn't even just a conversation again, because like I said, nothing was done wrong. It was also a conversation where I was just like, you know what, see, let me just tell you guys, this thing can never be done again. If people do it, I'll treat you, I'll mess you. Like, it was, it's not really like, oh, you offended me, you hurt me. I was pretty clear that you people did not offend me. In fact, what you did, I understand it, but it's not anything you can ever do to me again. If you try it, you people, you will not. It is not even possible, because I will just show up, like, and drag you, but
He has even entered the live self. He's watching now.
yeah. So just to clear that was really that's the only thing, to be honest. Every other thing is just personality difference, mood changes, just regular everyday life that we don't really, it's not an issue, it's just understanding, right? Maybe, for example, I show up and Rennie that's always in a good mood, right, can now be in a bad mood with me. Do you know? tired, because Rennie is always like, if Rennie is tired and sleepy and you show up, she'll be awake, she'll jump. If I show up, she'll sleep. Do you understand? She will be in a bad mood. This is maybe I don't have time for
Yeah.
that, So just understanding that, allowing that, all of us will be in a bad mood together, then we'll come out. Sometimes me, I don't want to talk, right? So I'm just like, so just normal dose every day. But we don't have any issues that we cannot call out. That's the only one issue, and it was a major one, which was really more of a vibe check. And it didn't take me, I didn't talk about it in like next week or the following week, right? It was a long time before I was finally able to talk about it. It was a very long time, which means that, you know what, the relationship continued, right? I could have easily just started to withdraw from there, but I understood the heart, I understood the people that I was dealing with, I understood their personalities and everything, and I just offered grace. The only thing was that because it was on my heart, right, it needed to be said, right? So I finally, I could have easily gone the rest of my life not saying it, but then it would have been like, am I hurt, am I not? So maybe it took like a year. Is it a year, Rennie?
I think it was more.
Yeah, it took like so for you to understand, it took like, maybe a year or more to finally say, okay, you know what, I have thought and thought and thought and thought and thought about this thing, and
So
there's no other.
I think the reason why it went that was because some days you will completely forget about it, and then maybe something will just trigger, and then you will just remember
Yes,
all over again. And that's
exactly,
what happened, because your mind, you are like, you've dealt with it, you
exactly,
don't need to talk to Rain about it. Let me just deal with my heart and just move
exactly,
on. And then there's some,
exactly.
yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
I love this. I mean, this is so good, and I love this honesty. Wow, this is so amazing, and wow, the fact that, I mean,
Well,
wow. Let me.
because we have actually never
Wow,
said
thank
this anywhere
you.
before, Abby.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Mm-mm. Yeah.
Wow, that's so good. That's so good. So there's something that you said, and I'll ask Rennie this, about moods. And it happens in marriage too. If people come and you're tired, that thing, I want us to talk about it. Because I mean, even me, I'm guilty of it. And you just do everybody, blah, blah, blah. But my husband comes today because I'm tired. Why does that happen to people that we claim to love? So maybe Rennie should help us here, because obviously I've done it to your bestie, right? Why does that happen? And I mean, why do we just expect that? I mean, they should understand. Everybody else might not, but I mean, yeah.
So for me,
You
so
get
for me,
this,
I'm
and you
guilty.
can
I'm
just.
really guilty about this one, because even my husband will be like, outside, like, you'll be jumping, you'll be happy with people, like, you'll be excited, you're living fake life.
Exactly.
That's so
You're living
correct.
fake life. You will not
Oh
come
my
back home, and then you're just tired and exhausted. But I think in my own head, I'm like, we are living together forever. You already have,
Exactly.
all of me. People, when I go out, I probably just see them once in, maybe, I don't know, maybe once in a year, once in 5 years. I never might see the person again. So in my head, I'm just thinking, let me just be, extremely nice and kind and, interested in you for that moment, because I never can tell. But from my husband, I'm like, if I'm tired today, I will not be tired tomorrow. Like, there will be times like this. I've been married to almost 12 years now, so don't worry. But my husband is like, no, you go out, you are jumping. I'm seeing you on Instagram, you are hugging people, you are living fake life. I'll call you out one day. So let me just cut myself out now. So, but for me, I just feel like, and I think it's, and if I'm being honest, I think it's just the fact that, because we know that, they are there, every day. So, yeah, that's what I would say. But even though I'm working on it, I'm actually working on it. Not that I edit all the time, right? Like now, I've gone for speaking engagements. This morning, I went to the mainland to speak, and then from there, went to have family time with my in-laws, and then not up to 1 hour again, I'm starting this live. So my mom was already telling me, poor planning, because he knows that again I'm not spending time with him. But then really I'm done like this, I'm just going to shut my phone, and then we're just going to watch a movie, and then just gist and all of that. So I'm even very conscious about it, because I also don't want to take him for granted and take it for granted. And I think it's also maybe sometimes we busy as well. So be sometimes like, well, we'll talk. Like this week, for example, it just kept on hammering in my head. do video call, do video call busy now, call busy now, call busy now. But then, because I was on site, I was doing different things. I'll call her later. Don't worry, I'll call her later. And so if you're not careful, you have to be extremely intentional about it. But one thing I keep telling, my husband, and I don't tell busy, but I know that she understands. I'm like, just know that my heart is with you, right? So but the thing is, to be honest, if you are being truthful, you just have to make that effort, right? You can't say that you really love someone or you really care about someone and you're just always not available emotionally, or you're just always, hey, don't worry, don't understand. No. Make the work, make the effort. So, for example, I will even give one as vain and as simple as it is. If you know me, when I post on Instagram, I try to respond to everybody's comments. I try. For me, it's like a badge of honor to respond to everybody's comments, even though this is like really nice sometimes. And then for my birthday, I can have 1,000 comments and I will sit down, even if it will take me 5 days, I will comment on everybody. So I know that a few days before, a few weeks before my birthday, my husband and I had like an argument and all of that. And it was this thing, and it was like, you don't have to respond to everybody. You can just do a one post and thank everybody, and that's it. And in my mind, I was like, I don't think that's fair. Like, that's not good. Blah, 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 blah. And he just like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you wasting so much effort? You're a busy person. Why would you just sit down? And so this year, I decided that, you know what, instead of me responding to everybody's comments, what I just did was, I would be like a few days after, I was reading the comments and I was just liking them, right? So it was easier for me, but at the same time, I felt like at least I, in quotes, responded to people, but it didn't take me as much effort as I would have had to reply every comment. And so I went back to him and I told him that, hey, that time that I would have used to comment and comment back to everybody, I'm using it with you, and then I took your advice, and then we laughed about it. And I mean, those are like small things that I know that he sees that I'm making amends to, because it is just who Rennie is, right?
Basically, in our friendship, right, I'm not really big on being in a good mood. I can just, if I wanted to drag her, I'll just do it, right? But if I don't, me too, I'll just, she be his mood. Maybe you're even helping me. I don't really want to talk again because I don't really like to talk much anyway. Like, I only talk outside. Like, outside I talk, but in the house with my people, I want to just be quiet, smile and all. So what happens is that if I'm with Rennie, let's say maybe I met her at a place and she already has a mood right there, I just let it be, right? I just let it be, whatever minimal interaction or whatever. And eventually things will pick up, because naturally now the person begins to now feel safe, now eating, they slept, they've talked, so naturally it will happen. So what I'll say is that if you find yourself in that situation, obviously, if you think about it generally, they obviously spend more time with you, they're realer with you, they're closer with you, and you see a lot more of them that other people may not see. So you have to put that into consideration as well, and then be able to sort of just call out whatever it is that you want to call out without making it look as if they are being like bad to you intentionally. That understand, because if not, you can begin to put the person on the spot. Remember that a lot of friendships, like my friends and I, Rennie, Bumi, we do our friendship like marriage. So there's no this thing. We already kind of like know that. Bumi will even tell you, you are going nowhere. You are going. She literally says, you can't go nowhere. You are already texting. If I offend you, you better tell me. Call me out because you are going nowhere. You, my children, you won't come to their wedding. That kind of thing. So we're very big about that, but you have to understand, you can't personalize everything. You can't take everything. Sometimes it's not about you. It's just about the fact that the person is in a bad mood, and you have your days as well. So I wanted to point that out, right? With marriage, it's a lot easier. Even though we take our friendship like marriage, the truth is that you still be more intentional with your marriage, of how your husband can drag you, and just be like, no, don't go there, right? And you say, okay, I won't go. But if I say don't go, if Rennie says she wants to go, and that's coconut head, you understand? Yeah, it's very funny, but she does have coconut head.
I
So
need
if I
like
say don't go
you to
there,
say that. Mm.
don't do that, and she has done it, I'll come and meet her. I say, this thing that you have done, well done. You see, but be understanding. It's not really personal.
Yeah.
Awesome. And for that, I want to talk about that calling out thing, because some people say that they are friends, but they cannot have honest conversations with their friends, hard conversations, let me put it that way. Like, let me not say anything. Because in my head, that's if I call you my friend, I can call you, I must be able to, because it's not 100% a simple drive through, right? You should be able to get that point where you can tell the person the truth, and it's not a soft truth. I think that's why you're bad that says that if you enter a room and you come out smiling, you have not said the truth to yourselves, right? So, like, that how do you call out your friends, right? So, how do you manage having hard, hard, truthful, like, I think that this one you're doing is bad and you need to stop it. And this one is straight face. Sometimes I say, like, don't talk to me, but I have to let you know, like, how do you have those kind of serious, I don't know if you have it, but hard, real conversations where you're not trying to pretend or overlook and fuck. And don't let me say it, if I say something, should not be angry.
Well,
That's
to be
friendship.
So
honest, like Bumi would say, we
okay,
it
okay.
makes
I wanted
sense.
to start. I wanted to start, and then BC would finish up. So I think
Okay,
that for us, what works is, and I guess like maturity has also come into play, where we have given ourselves permission to call one another out, right? We have, in fact, there was one time where Bumi said that she dreamt that she offended me, and she was already like, "Oh my God, Rennie, I'm so sorry," and then she came in real life I was already apologizing. I'm like, you did not offend me. Now what are you apologizing? I dreamt that I offended you. I'm just saying that just in case, like for the future, if anything happens, just know that I'm sorry, and then we laughed about it. We laughed over it rather. And I think that that's what one of the beautiful things with us. Still like a few weeks ago too, I offended Bumi and she called me out straight and I apologized, and it wasn't intentional. But then the thing is, it helps her heart because she doesn't know whether I did it intentionally or not intentionally. And in case I did it intentionally, so that next time, me too, I would be very cautious and know that she doesn't like that. If I besides won't be warning me that this thing that you're doing, Bumi will not like it. And I was like, oh my God, no, don't worry, I'll beg her, until it shall happened, and we shall settled it. Do you get? But it was something that you did not have to stay long, right? I'm not happy with what you've done. I'm not happy. This is what it is. Apologize and try for it not to happen again, because I respect my friends very much. That if they have told me that they don't like this thing, I shouldn't just think that, oh, because they're my friend, and if I do it now, don't you think I'm just joking? No, like the person doesn't like it. Because the person can tolerate it doesn't mean that you should keep on doing it. And for me, I feel like it's a sign of disrespect if you keep doing that. And because I honor my friends and respect them, so I would. So I would say that we've given ourselves permission to call one another out. And there are times where BC will call me out, and I'll just say, sorry, I'm so sorry. Or there are things, and for me, and I think BC now understands, because BC now understands me that I'm doing it intentionally, right? The one that I do intentionally, or maybe the one that maybe I did not do intentionally, but was bad behavior, I would apologize about it. And even me, I'll now look at it. I'm like, oh, it's true. What I did, no. It's true. Like if it was the other way around, I would not have liked it as well, right? So I think that's how I'll answer that question. BC can add to that.
Yeah. I think that basically is giving permission, but you know how people say, I'll call you out, it's not that easy. You have to just, and the goal is not to call out, right? The goal is not to call out. The
Yeah.
goal is to understand. Take, for example, my friendship with Bumi. Sometimes, I can say to my friend, you know how there's this idea that, oh, if somebody's my friend, I won't be able to tell them to do this for my sake. And then, right, there has been a time when I've actually asked Bumi to do something that I expected that she would actually do for my sake, that she didn't do. She knew, she was so sure that she didn't want to do it, and she didn't do it. Now, obviously, when you look at that in relation to, maybe the third party or whatever was involved there, you can think that, oh, this person did not honor me or honor our friendship. But no, sometimes your friendship is also like in stages, right? Where it is maybe the absence of something that allows it to now be present in the future, right? And so I understand that too, that while there's that romanticizing of my friend should honor me and just do this, there's real life where they genuinely know that they don't want to do it, right? And maybe the conversation is not right. But what happened was that eventually later the conversation was ripe, and Bumi then said, BC, I know that my head is strong. How do you like cope? But this thing, I know that this thing that I did, and I said, that's it now. Shebi, and it was only in that moment that I then called it out to say, you know what, that's why you always do. The day that I will just vex for you and slap you, and all that, is there. So you have to understand that you're doing something. Everything does not happen like immediately. Sometimes it's calling out that you want to do. Give it time. Support your friends even when they're wrong. Like, be patient with them. You are not the only corrector and somebody that can call out. Sometimes even in their bad behavior, they are still worthy. So if, for example, Rennie does something right now and I want to call her out, I'll go and ask her first of all, what are you doing? Like, what happened here? Do you see? Then she's able to say, this is it, this. I'm like, actually, do you think that this person will understand it this way? Or do you think that you should have done it this way? Now, in that process of asking questions, the person may be like, oh, okay. I didn't think about it that way. And that's already all the calling out you need. Not to say, I will tell you when you're wrong. Like, no, that's more about you than it is. So if you don't respect yourself and if you don't respect your friendship, you'll find that people will get offended, and it's normal because we're all growing. Sometimes you're person in a defensive mode. Sometimes it's the more later they will learn that they should have been less defensive, but the friendship is broken. Do you see? So I'm not about calling Rennie out. I'm about loving her and supporting her as she is, so naturally we have sense. We won't even be doing like rubbish things that you need to call her. What am I doing that you now want to call and be like, I'll tell you the truth. Like, what is that? But to be honest, just in case I do something that she doesn't like understand, or maybe I do something to her that she doesn't like, there's no need addressing it with such aggression. She can just ask me questions. In fact, sometimes it may be later. The person will be like, no. But it may then be much later that they then say, okay, you know what? So you have to be patient. Imagine you want to be calling your husband out. I'll just tell you what you are doing is not right. And then your wife, I'll tell you. That's why you see scatter homes now. So, and that's what scatters friendship. Don't let your goal be to call them out. Let your goal be the friendship itself, right? Let your goal be standing by them. Okay, you call them out, then they refuse to stop the bad behavior on call, right? Or they refuse to see it and they are being defensive. How do you then call the defense out? Maybe sometimes just calm down first of all. Love, and then he would show up. That's the other point.
Amazing. So, wow, so good. So this next question I'm going to ask, somebody actually sent this one to me, right? And it's about jealousy, envy in friendship and
jealousy.
Wow. So now you balance and prepare for it. I said that I was going to, because I know a lot of people have joined. So let me just do a recap of what we're doing here. Welcome everyone who are just coming. I have the amazing Secretplacewife and the amazing Morenike here today, and we're discussing building healthy friendship relationships. This is Ife Talks, right? So we do this show. This is part of the show where it feels like TV show now. Say commercial break, and now we're back. So this is commercial break, but we're still here. So this is Ife Talks, right? What we do basically is just to talk about real life issues that affect people. We talk about everything that will help human beings make more intentional and transformed decisions. And we do this every month. We invite people, like I've invited these very amazing people here today. We're talking about friendship. I know if you know them and you're following them, you will know that they have something very important and special. So this month we're talking about friendship. It's a friendship month. It's a beautiful season. I'm excited to have them. We've been learning a lot, right? And this is what we do every month. Next month again, we go again, another topic, right? So I do this every month by the help of God. And I've been doing this for the past 3 years, bringing people to come and pour into us and help us to do better. So first, if you're not following Ife Talks, just follow now. Click follow, right? And then about to jump into something very, very important, which is envy, jealousy. Because this topic topic to me is very important. I have another question here, but let's do this one first. This question is very, very important. This envy and jealousy bit, because how possible is it, or how do you get to that point where you can overcome envy and jealousy? Like, you just, like, maybe your friend, things are happening for your friend is doing so great and all that stuff, and you're still friends, you really love your friend, but you're feeling some type of way, you're feeling a bit, not because you don't like them, but there's just this jealousy that the spotlight is just always on this person is just having everything going, me, I'm just here, people don't really like me, but they like this person and all that. Or, I mean, this one has ever happened to me before, where, I mean, you and someone are really close, but you have so many other friends, and you're like, how do you balance, every time I always, how do you nurture your best friends, that relationship, and let them know that, look, is you, but sorry, there are just so many, right? So, envy, and that can also still bring envy and all that. So, how do you handle that bit, envy, jealousy, in your relationship? Has it even ever happened with both of you? And I mean, how did you handle it? If not, but let's just talk
Okay,
about
so
it generally.
you start.
So, where do you start?
So
Okay,
I don't think it has ever happened
start.
with us. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't think so, right? Either because of, in fact, it's only peer pressure that makes me even say, all the friends, if I catch them, that sort of thing. Just naturally, I'm not that kind of person, right? And I think that helps Rennie a lot, to sort of just like be secure in that space, But sometimes I have people who fight for me, So that's also something. Maybe I don't have to, because there are many people that drag Rennie, right? If she's doing rubbish, I will not be laughing about. Somebody like, for example, will say, "Are you okay? Like, who is this person?" But naturally, I'm not the type to put that forward, right? And be like, oh, who is this person? I'd rather just maybe genuinely see that for what it is, right? Because the honest truth is that if you have the real thing, you have to know it, right? If imagine somebody has like 1 billion friends, they can't possibly talk about the deep yearnings of their heart with 1 billion people. It's impossible, So the person they talk about it with, if you don't love that and appreciate that and accept that and know that, in your place, you just be disturbing yourself over something that's not real, and that can actually potentially ruin your relationship. So you yourself, you have to know that, right? But on just being human, just being social media banter and stuff, I can just be like, excuse me, who is this person? But I think these days people are just upfront to say we're sharing your best friend, and that's okay with me. So we don't have that kind of issue. But with regards to maybe life generally, dealing with your heart, to be honest, I can just answer generally because it's hard to answer specifically because I can't relate, right? But generally speaking, again, I would say your heart, your heart. A lot of the things that will not be about the friendship, that will be about your heart. Like maybe if, for example, I'm jealous that Rennie, the spotlight. Okay, maybe let me see. Maybe for example, now I'm not living in Nigeria, for example, right? And let's say for if I would typically have engagement, I move about, but now I'm in a season where if you even invite me, safe, I'll not come because I'm settling down. Do you understand? I'm turning down a lot of things.
Right.
Meanwhile, my bestie is in a season where she's going to a lot of places right now,
Come and
So
collect from my hand, I beg. I'm already tired.
if so maybe, just maybe in my own season, right? I can say, hey God, what's happening to me? Like, am I still like, the loop of things I be, So that is more me and not really the friendship. Do you see? But my friend who is doing that thing is more of was triggering that talk for me because I have a reference scale. Do you understand? So it's important that you are able to separate that so that you can also, if you have good friends, you can share that with your friends. You can say, see, God, I'm thinking about this. right? And my heart is doing kikim, like, am I still like in the game? I hope I'm not like going into the background of things. I hope I'm this. And they can encourage you. You can be honest about it as it, but only after
Hey,
you have identified,
mama. Sorry.
but only after you identify that it's not about the friendship, right? It's about you. So I can then share what I've identified about me to my friend. Like, I imagine when I saw you on this billboard, my heart was like, we should be killing it together now, but I'm not on the scene, or things are not aligning, and I'm just in a secluded season, and this thing is hard, it's painful, it's doing me somehow, and then they can encourage you. But only after you have been honest with yourself and identify it's not about the friendship, right? It's about you. But if you now let Satan to help you to, right, and just marinate it and just make it into something of a big deal, then you will now find yourself withdrawing, which is kind of like the nature of that. Your real heart inside knows what you're thinking, and it will act in favor of what you're thinking. Even though on the surface you try so hard to laugh and laugh and laugh, it will show. So that's like a practical example that I can use about maybe our current season right now. But yeah, so on the general, I would say deal with envy as it shows up, right? Deal with there's also something that I learned a lot from my friend Bumi. Bumi is very, very open about these things, right? If her heart is doing, she'll come and say, see, my heart, come and help my heart. She say, Rennie, this thing. She would open. Somebody that I know that speaks so loudly about a friend's accomplishment. So that's something that also helps. Psych your friends up, right? Like, gas them up. Don't be, I always say, be lavish with your compliments. That helps, right? Because you can't, it's like praying for somebody genuinely. You can't be jealous of them if you commit to praying for them, right? Because then it will meet you on the way. That honesty will meet you on the way. Do you understand? So be lavish with your praise. Speak about it. Share. Say, oh, this is amazing. This thing that you're doing is wonderful. There's another friend of mine that does what I really think is lovely doing. She'll send you gifts. She'll send you flowers. You've been amazing this month. You've been wonderful. That may not be your thing, but find something that is your thing that pushes your friend, that just pushes that negative energy out to say, you know what, I'm going to move in the direction that I want my heart to move, and I'm going to lavish them with praise, and that helps from my end. Hey, I've learned Jay
She has said it all.
my classes and these things. So
She has said it all. To be
I
honest, right?
cannot let comments, please. You.
How do you know, as I said, that Rennie is always but how do you do that? I'm sure that a lot of people want to be your friend and all that. You have like a gas, if you're following Rennie's story, Rennie has like 1 million friends, and I don't even know how she does it, and now she's a bit so, but how do you now manage all those very many friends and still manage your very important friendship? And has anything ever happened where you feel like someone's trying to take over your best friend's place? They are just trying, and it can happen on, because that is just like, because I've heard this one before, so let me just summarize what I'm trying to say. So two people are very close friends, but it's just that there's one person, a C, that seems to like A, but A and B are like besties, right? This one was even in my office, so it was a real life scenario. And the C was always wanting to have lunch with A, and there was the B there that was like, what's going on? And A trying to also manage, okay, let's have lunch, and B is coming, how far? I'm having lunch with. So has that ever happened where you feel like someone is trying to, and it might be from a good place or not a good place, but they just want to be with you and his friend, blah, 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 and all that, and you're trying to say, we are friends or not best friends, or but how do you do that? If that has happened with you before, how do you manage those sort of relationships?
Oh, yeah, Rennie, now you're shaking your head.
I thought the question was for you, BCO. Because we were mentioning Rennie's name. So I'm gonna ask you this question based from the point of, so if someone was trying to, be in BC's, just always going to BC.
No. Try close.
For
like really get close to you, so close to you, that kind of thing. How do you handle that? To say, okay, you know what, let me just say on the side though that this is something that Rennie does so well. I don't think there's anybody in her life that doesn't really know me. You, that me, I don't really do it so well. Like God will help me. But Rennie does it. Like we can be in the middle of sometimes. In fact, I remember recently I had to pinch her like stop it. Like this person is not interested. But she's like, hi, this is my best friend, right? This is who she is. Like, hey, hi, meet my best friend. Oh, I'm going to meet my best friend. So she does that so well. If I can speak, just put that out there that if Rennie meets somebody and they are trying to be close, the likelihood that they will probably have heard about me in one conversation with her is very high. Very high. So they may still be close, which I don't think is a bad thing, but they would try to now take second place or whatever place, maybe 100 place, yeah.
I'm
But
so
I think that Rennie really, she even to people who are not trying to get close to her, like if we randomly meet people, or even people who meet me, like it's me they know, this can be in that conversation and she's like, like she's my bestie, and this is this, do you follow her, do you know her, do you that kind of thing, yeah. And I think that's really good, to be honest, for our friendship.
Honestly, I think she rescued me because I was trying to figure out how I'm able to navigate that. But I know that one thing that I try to consciously do is to make BC feel very secured. Like, say, look, nobody can ever take your place as bestie. Well, after my husband, my mom,
She's
my
a
children, Jesus, let's say, hey. So I try my best to do that. Now, because of my own nature. So I remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago where Shuna and I were having a conversation, and she was like, "All our friends are relocating. Mommy, why can't we relocate?" And I was like, no. And I didn't even think it through, but I just wanted to, just give her something, an excuse that would just let her leave me alone. And I said, "Oh, because I'll miss my friends." And she's like, "No, mommy, if you relocate in 1 minute, you would have best friends, many, many friends, that you make friends easily." And I was just like, oh, that one did not hold water, right? But so it's just to show you how, even with my children, they know that, anywhere that I go to, I'm just very jovial. I can meet you, I literally will meet you in 2 minutes, and you will think that we've known each other for 10, 20 years. It's just my nature. At the same time, I also still understand BC's place in my life. And for me, BC has also been amazing in the sense that she doesn't put me under pressure that, oh, I'm now worried and I'm now afraid to try to be myself with other people because I feel like my friend will be jealous and my friend will, be giving me attitude that, oh, why are you being close to that person? BC already knows. Before BC will just be saying, continue. In fact, some of them I'll say, BC, you need to meet this person. She's extremely nice. So if you say I should meet the person, no problem. And because I've already spoken nicely of BC, and by the time they meet, truly, they will be, they will like one another. But then that's where it will be, right? And I think that maybe, and because on BC's end, like I'm not so BC, not to shade you or anything, but it's just that
she
BC's end, BC is not, BC is not like that, right? Where I would say that, oh, there are many friends around BC that I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. So for me, I'm not sure that I've experienced that
you
emotion.
you
I have, Abby. Ooh,
thing
tell
is,
me,
I
ooh.
don't have 1 billion friends, but I have friends that took it really personal, that literally felt like Rennie
Is it,
was
but that's what I think it was. Was it not on Insta? Was it on internet that I was fighting them,
no,
or was it?
not internet. Like, Rennie has like billion friends, internet, real life friends, like just associate. I'm not like, with plenty of friends, but I have like key friends that our friendship was an issue for. Big
Oh,
issue. Big, so,
okay.
and it's not one, it's not two, it's not like everybody is just like, so the way with me is that people who are my friends actually believe that they're my best friends. That's the thing. If you are my friend, I always give myself to you that you will not doubt that we are really close and that I'm in your corner. So when I now decided to pick a best friend, which I've never done before, just everybody that was key in my life had it. And it was I'm talking real emotional crime issues. Just and then in fact there's one in particular that she abused me, and that's the thing about being friendly. But if you say people are your friend, you have to understand them. If you choose them, you have to then decide. There was a time that she would in fact one day we had all met and she was talking to everybody, she didn't talk to me. When we finished, she started abusing me, and I stood there. And she was like, yeah, da, da, da. What do you want? Me trying to talk to a friend, like, it's not like that. And she's like, what? No, don't worry. Sure. And I still was begging her. Do you get that kind of thing? Because I understood this particular friend. I understood that I'm close to her and she feels threatened, right? That I now, like, why am I highlighting somebody as my best friend? So in the early days, all of my friends had an issue with Rennie and I, but with patience, they all remain my friend. I did not sacrifice one for the other, and I think that that's important because it's not only always just 1 billion people around you trying to be your friends. There are some people too that may not like that. So it's a case of, so if we were close and this person is your best friend, why couldn't I be your best friend? I didn't sacrifice anybody for Rennie. I made sure that I handled it with patience. I begged the people that I needed to beg. I stayed with the people that I needed to stay. If they push me away, I'll come back, doing what I've always done in their life, being who I've always been in their life, so that they can see that, okay, I guess we can all be friends, and I guess she can, have this close friend and still be a close friend of mine, So be patient with your friendships, that sort of thing.
I think I want to even ask on that, on what you just said, because I think it's really good. The fact that, you are close with someone and then you want to capture the person alone. Like, no, I'm not, you must not be close friends with anybody. You must just be only me. Only me. And then immediately they're trying to talk to other people, be friends with other people. You are just carrying face and no, this person might. How do you, and if you can just dwell on it just a little bit more, because I know that you have, some people are like, if I've chosen you as my friend, that's it. You must be committed to me for life. I don't appreciate all this jumping up and down. No, I'm the only one in your life. Blah blah blah. Some people are just like that with friends. They don't want to possess.
I don't know. To be honest, these things are normal. They are normal, but I would say that they are also not normal. So you have to consciously tell yourself the truth. It's not normal that you don't want them to be friends with other people, but it's normal. So it's one of those things that are just funny. It's normal. It's not normal. So while we can do it and excuse it, we also have to be truthful that it's not right. And when you know that it's not right, you can then talk to yourself and consciously just bring yourself back, aligning yourself with the truth. So what I've done is that, like I said, I think I said it like a few minutes ago, that if you have a friend, you can analyze it. There are some friends you have, I see that there are some friends that you have that are not really close to you. Do you see that maybe they're being close to somebody else, now showing you that they're not really close to you? And it's okay to analyze it and see that we're not that close at the end of the day, and then to now take a step back rightfully, that's okay. But generally speaking, there are people who love you, right, but also have capacity to love other people. You can look at what you have and see that it's not lacking in any way. Do you see? And then you can take the kind of like how I said that if I look at Rennie being my best friend and being like friends with a million people, and not only even friends, you can say that she has like friends, like everybody wants to be a friend, but she also has other close circles. Do you get what I'm saying? Like circle this, circle O, people whose name starts with M, the ones that their name starts with O, the ones that their name starts with, and more to come in the future. Do you see? That's okay. But look at the essentiality of the friendship. You will still find what makes your own unique, and just that, nourish that, grow it. And if you grow it, it will even become big. If you don't grow it, it will die. You understand? Finally, just like how a wife is like, my husband is a mommy's boy and he's so close to his mom That cannot happen. He has to be close to me. No. The mother nourished her relationship with her son, right? Built it from the beginning to say, I want my son to be. She did it. She was successful at it. If you begin your own journey now, maybe you will do this, right? And you now have home advantage. Do you understand? So instead of shouting and dragging that somebody is close to their mother, why don't you begin to nurture a relationship in with that home advantage? So that's what I'm saying. If you are somebody's best friend, they own it. They call you their best friend. You have home advantage. Do you understand? Then nurture your friendship with them in a way that strengthens that bond. Do you see? And you would always have that home advantage.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. So, I mean, I want to ask this very popular question, Rennie, because I got one question too that said, I thought your husband, your spouse, let me not put husband, but it was husband, because it's two ladies. Your spouse supposed to be your best friend. So, how do you manage? My husband is my best friend, yet I still have
In
another
our own
best friend.
case, it's
Manage
very
that?
simple. Well, my husband is my best friend. Bish's husband is her best friend. So what we now decided is that we are besties.
Right.
I know you might be like, oh, what's the difference? But just that nomenclature, just naming it that way, makes separate and gives a diff. So my husband isn't threatened by the fact that this is my best friend. He knows he's my best friend. This is my best, so let's say like my female best friend, right? So that's how. I don't know if Bisi wants to add anything to that.
A good place
Yes,
to, I mean,
there's
okay,
one
she's
little
back
man
now. I
here
thought she
that's
was away.
harassing me for food. So
So, so I was asking about people that say that is your spouse not supposed to be your best friend.
now,
Your
your
husband
spouse can be your
friend.
best friend. Already, naturally, you will talk to your spouse about everything, hopefully. But female friendships are right, and it's like a sisterhood, and that's important as well, right? So I think that all these things if is just semantics. Best friend, you don't necessarily. It's
That's what
not
I was
everybody
saying.
best friend or that would now be
Yeah.
close to you. Some people don't even use that word. Some people use sisters. Some people say this is my sister. They don't say best friend, and they're actually like closely knitted and all that. So I would say that it's not even like two competing roles. Yeah, the two can exist together now. If you have your husband that is your best friend, you can have a female best friend. You can even have another best. You can have three best friends. You can have a group of sisters that you share everything with, right? There's not only one person. It doesn't have to be one person, and you still share everything with your husband. Do you see? If you are single, for example, now, you can have like female or male besties. So I think you can exist together, right? And if you find that your husband is not happy, or maybe your partner is not happy with it, it's probably not because of the friendship. Like I always say, if you nurture a friendship in a direction that people can trace and say, this thing exists there, they will not harass you, they will not fight you. Do you understand? So if your husband is the last to hear about things happening in your life, right, and your so-called best friends know, and there's no apology, there's no this thing, clearly to raise issues. Do you understand? Kind of like how even in our friendship, right, if important things, right, I'm the last to hear and somebody else is hearing, it has happened first, and so I will begin to say what is going on. Do you understand? So if your husband is in the house with you, and now be close to them, be close to your wife. The two can.
Awesome. That's so good. And I think this is a good place to remind you of what you
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
talk
yeah, yeah,
about.
yes. If Fernanda, we brought up husband and wife matter. So I wanted to ask, I don't know whether it's the one if I answer that question or maybe BC, right? That's but I think I'll choose to BC, seeing that BC is a marriage counselor. Is it okay as a married woman to have a bestie that is a man, a married man, or a
Cold.
man, or a married man?
On this life.
What do you
Kind
say?
of a question. Why are you asking questions? Are you a cold?
so,
What cause question?
so is it okay for married people of the opposite sex to be best friends?
Like they're both married.
I don't
Well, in the world that we live in,
know. Wow.
right? I mean, naturally, nothing it doesn't seem wrong. Do you see what I mean? But I think the world has grown in a way where the relationship between a man and a woman is largely about sex. Do you understand? And so most times people see that, right? Because obviously, if you think all the way back to where we're coming from in terms of evolution, they will say, like, what are you doing with the opposite sex? Because that's likely how that relationship has been framed. Do you see? And it's not framed like that because, well, the people of the past are so archaic that they don't know what they're doing. No, it's framed like that because the people of the past, right, were aware of the attraction towards each other. They were aware of what proximity does in terms of closeness. They were aware of what emotional intimacy breeds, right, when you are dealing with the opposite sex. They understood the heart, and that it was fragile, was fickle, and things can spring up on you. Do you see? So naturally, that sexual evolution, right, or of man and woman has always been like the thing, right? But it's not to say that there are no successful friendships between the opposite sex. They are rare, right? But again, you just have to keep it open. So if I'm married and my best friend who is a male is married, like for example, when I was newly married, I had some really cool male friends that I used to, that they're like my boys, your guys. If you even see me hug one of them, right, you think that I can just disappear into this particular person. We're really close. Do you get? So but my husband knew them. I introduced them and all of that. But you have to be intelligent, and you have to keep your eyes peeled to the ground, right? Any friendship that you're not willing to put on the table, to put under scrutiny, to put out there, is already calling for something. So while it is possible, right, to have like male and female, what will likely happen is that the family will be close. So if I have a male best friend and I'm not friends with his wife in a way that we can now hang out as a group, right, then that's an issue. But if we're able to hang out as a group, within the group, they can know that, oh, okay, these ones, they've been close before they even met, before they married, we can all continue to talk. And naturally, I'm not keeping anything from my husband. Do you see? And he's not keeping anything from his wife. Basically, they know what's going on, but they respect our friendship and don't just come and be talking about what if how people normally discuss things with their spouses anyway. Do you see? But the spouse will not come out and be saying, I know this about you. Like, for example, now there are things about me that her husband will know. Do you understand? And there are things about Rennie too that my husband will know. Do you see? But they're not going to come out and be like, hey Rennie, your friend told me this, just out of respect, right? But still, they will know that there's nothing hidden between you. Under that premise, maybe, yes. But for the most part, if we're being honest, because of the emotional wheelchair of just how, if it's filling a gap, right, then things can come up, right? That's why it's not advisable. It's not usually the best. Find a sister, find a brother that you can now be genuinely open with, right? And not use somebody else. For example, if a man wants to open up about his business, about his life, about the things happening in his marriage, about sexual issues with his wife, which are things you discuss with your bestie. Do you see? If you are discussing that with another woman, do you understand? And what is she supposed to do? Tell you about hers, right? And if he's successful in that area, what are you both supposed to do with that information? Somebody may be feeling like this person is lucky, this person is the best, and before you know it, then your heart begins to pull out after you. But generally speaking, it's possible. It's very, very possible.
So just to add my Benuno verse, because I saw it in the comment section. Someone asked that we should ask, what if it's a single and married? So one is single, one is married. Maybe a woman is single and then her best friend is a married man, or a single man and a married woman.
Just respect the relationship. You will still show up. I don't think that there are rules to this thing like, oh, it shouldn't be. I think that naturally people step back and start to say, these problems now exist when the problems don't actually exist. It is normal for people to be weary of what you bring. Who are you? What are you? Until they fully know. If you don't give up yourself to be known, then you're fishy. And that's usually where the problem is. So I'm married. My husband now has a single female best friend that doesn't want to be known. Do you understand? But if she gives up herself, what she will be trying to do ideally is to get to know me, right? Is to connect with me, to be like, hey, you're my sister because your husband is my brother, right? She will be for me, first of all, to establish that common ground, that closeness, that air of no worry, secureness, right? Once you want to be known and you're able to put yourself out there, the people can then begin to relax, because only where you see a threat that you are edgy. Once the threat is dissolved, you can relax. Do you understand? So be known, be willing to be known. But generally speaking, this is what I always recommend. The heart is really fragile, right? So try your best to make it a family affair if you can. Right, but don't put yourself on because I know that people put themselves on that. Now you are married, or this thing will not be happening. Just make sure, come to the table and open up yourself to be seen, to be, make your interactions public. You want to call the husband, be able to call the wife as well. You want to call the wife, be able to call the husband as well. When is their birthday? Show up with gifts, show up with appreciation, ask about them. If there's something that is, going on that you've noticed, don't just go and be withdrawing, just come out, right? That's if it exists. But if it doesn't exist, right, just leave it. Some of my male friends that were really close, that I will melt into their arms like teddy bears, some of them also got married. I got married first, some of them got married, and I had to just naturally step back. It happened naturally. For some of them, nothing really happened, but for some of them, their partners knew me, and
Interesting. Okay, thank you for doing justice to that.
question. Like, wait, from where to where are you also on this show? Oops.
If I could, someone dropped a question, but I'm so sorry. Kenny DX, maybe if you can rewrite the
But wait,
question.
see this one I'm just reading now. I remember my husband.
That's what I wanted to even say. That again, there's always other side to this. So if I'm suspicious of somebody, I always say that the problem is usually that general misconception or general what's the word I'm looking for now? Cliches around these things get in the way even before we get to know the people. For example, now your husband invites someone to a group setting, she doesn't show up. When it's only him, he shows up. She may already have like, I don't want her to, be looking at me funny. I don't want her to be looking at me. So not because she has an ulterior motive to seduce your husband. It's just because it's uncomfortable for her. So while I'm really saying that the other person should put themselves out there and on the table to be known, please, you too, by all means, be nice, right? Some of us are not nice. You're just unnecessarily insecure by somebody's fear. So another person that the husband has snatched the best friend, or the best friend has snatched the husband's story that did not even happen to anybody in your lineage, but happened to somebody on Instagram that that fear is what is running your own home now. Do you understand? So what you want to do is allow your story to be your story. Do you see? Try your possible best, because there may be nothing there. So you to extend the hand of friendship. Ask your husband about her. How is so and so person? Be attentive when your partner is talking about that friend, right? And don't butt in like, so you people went out. Oh, you went out. Sometimes you would have to suppress your inner thoughts and inner emotions. You would have to subject it under the truth and calm down to say, okay, you guys went out. How was it? Where did you guys go to? How did it happen? Is it that you people just jam on the road? That's nice. So you and this person, you're really close. How did you become close? Now your partner will be like so interested in telling you, because they feel a sense of safety around you. The more they tell you more, the more you can now put the relationship in its place as to okay what it is exactly. But you to be nice. Some people were just unnecessarily edges. Like the same thing with in-laws. You have heard stories about in-laws. Then you come to your own marriage where your in-laws have not done anything, and you are like, that thing, and everything they do is now defined by that thought in your head. So if you do not subject it to the truth, right, and then find your own way, chart your own path from there, you will find that that story would easily become your own, and it will now turn to like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You add to the story. Nobody can be any best friend. It happened to me, So make sure that you are nice. If the lady does not show up, call her. We were expecting you. She'll be like, okay, I'll come another day. On the day that you are fixed for her to come, be the one to call her and say, Shola, I'm expecting you. I know you will not come, but me, I'm there. I'm waiting for you. She will come. Do you see? She'll come. And when she comes, she'll feel comfortable and things can then move from there.
Auntie Trisha, you're not in
Wow.
carnival
Trisha,
today.
Wow, wow.
I thought your carnival is still in motion.
like,
You're not supposed to be here, oh Trisha. You're supposed to be in carnival
I'm
dancing, please.